Good morning, everyone. Futures Barizio here. It is just after 11 a.m. on Tuesday, Feb 11th, and I hope everybody's having a great day so far. I figured I'd try to do, I really do try to get on here a little bit earlier to do market analysis videos like before things happen, but by the time I do my analysis and look at the charts and that kind of key time between about 8:30 and 9:30 or 8:30 and 10 o'clock is really the time I need to be focused on what I'm looking at. And I haven't gotten to the point where I want to do live videos because they're really, my channel's not big enough and I haven't had any requests to do it, so I just don't do it. Anyways, but it is still fairly early, so I figured I'd just jump on here and just go over quickly what's happening as I see it, and let you know if there might be anything setting up. So as always, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel before we get going, and any questions or comments, make sure you leave them down below. So the one trade that I took this morning that I'm already out of is in live cattle. This is the 4-hour chart of live cattle. You can see we've had kind of bearish market structure. So we jump down a little bit to the hourly chart. This is the trade that I took. I guess I can try to zoom in a bit here. So this is the trade right here that I took this morning. I was waiting for price to go down, and I made the video yesterday, and obviously we have very clear bearish price action. We had this big move down, and then we had this corrective pattern up. I was thinking that price would probably go a little bit higher before the downtrend continued, but we did change momentum pretty quick here on the lower time frame. So here's the 5-minute. You can see what my entry was right here, because I started seeing this big bearish candle paint after these little small candles failed to produce another new high. Because you see, we did have some bullish price action going on in this corrective mode here on the 5-minute, and I was expecting to see price continue up, but I started seeing this big bearish candle paint. I said, I'm just going to jump in. I just put my stop above this swing, and in case it did turn and keep going higher, and it did definitely drop. You can see I got out of it, so I was only in this trade for 5, 10, 15, 20, about a half an hour, and I'm out of it already. Now it is continuing down. Now it's about to back to where I exited the trade. We had a little bounce, and now it looks like it wants to go lower. My take profit I had set just at this weird looking candle. This is like a market open candle where you have this, like, these are like strange looking candles here. Like it's a bearish candle, but yet, but anyways, and it looked to me like a good support area below all of these equal lows. So this is kind of like a retail area here. I figured price would run down at least down to here, which it did, and it bounced off of there. I only took one contract, but I made about $900 on that, which was pretty nice. So I took it on my funded account too. This is my personal one. It was a good little trade. This might break lower if we get a break underneath this low, then I think the next area of support doesn't come in until we get down probably into this area. So if we can get a conclusive break below these lows that it made this morning, although it might not happen today, I probably will look for a continuation sell trades at least down to here, which is kind of like the next layer of support on the higher time frames. This is the 8-hour chart. You can see this area has been very reactive before, although price has already been back here once, but this would probably be a good target. I don't really see much between here and where price is now to stop it from dropping further. So that's kind of how I'm going with this right now, but I'm out of it for now. I probably won't re-enter today, but we'll see. This market has limited trading hours, so it's not like your indices and your metals that pretty much trade, like 23 hours a day. So this market does close for the day in the afternoon. So this pretty much is only a daytime normal session type trading instrument. So that's the only trade that I took today in futures or Forex. But so we'll move on here. Natural gas, again, has been rallying up. These are the arrows I drew on here on the video I made yesterday, and you can see that is playing out. But unfortunately, these entries happened before I was on the charts, and so I probably could have gotten, well, let's see what time this one was. Right here, this was at 12. This was at 13. Yeah, so this one, this is my bad. I probably could have taken this. This was at 9 o'clock. No, actually, couldn't have been 9 o'clock because we're only at 11 now. So this is the 11, 10, 9, 8. So this is like 8 o'clock. This was like the 8 a.m. candle. I could have taken this one, but I didn't. So I missed that entry, so that's fine. Let's see. On the DAX, same thing. There was a little entry right here at around 9:30. I chose not to take it because I was just waiting for a pullback on a longer time frame, and I just didn't see that, so I just chose not to take that one. But this market just remains bullish. And then interesting, this is copper. Now we had this big pullback here. We put in this high. Let's see, when was this high? This was yesterday that we hit this high, and I did trade this, as you recall, and I got out of this, and you see we've been trending down. This is the 30-minute chart, by the way, and we did break this structure level right here, but it's possible this was just a liquidity sweep. And you can see I had this arrow drawn right here, thinking that maybe if we broke this structure that we then retrace up and fall. And that might still happen, but what always concerns me is on the higher time frames, in this case the 4-hour, we see, yes, it did break this structure right here, but only on the wick. So price went lower, and then they bought it back and brought it back inside the range. I'd like to see the candle bodies close below this range, especially on a little bit higher time frame. So if we go to like the 1-hour chart, we actually did get one candle that closed below here, but then we've quickly rallied back up. So this one, this is interesting. So to me, this might just have been a big pullback, and we're going to go higher now, and that all this was just basically a liquidity sweep below this low. So they induced traders to go to go short below this structure area, and now they're going to snap it right back. They trap all those traders that are in shorts, and they have to exit their positions, their shorts, which only fuels even higher pricing. And you can see right now, so we broke back into the structure. Then we pulled back here. We're down now on the, let's go to a 15-minute chart. We came back into structure right here, came back, retested this now as support. This area we broke below. This is why I was showing you where we broke below. And you can see even here on the 15-minute chart, we did break below here, but you can see these, look how small these candles are. To me, this is not really super impulsive. We had this one candle drawing that was impulsive, and it snapped right back towards the range. And then we did have the next hour or so, we did have candles try to go lower here. All right. But look how small these candles are. And then we had a real bullish engulfing candle. We came back into the range, now retested it as support, and now it looks like it wants to go higher. I did have an alarm. I have 2 alarms set. I had one set here. Once it broke below here, I wanted to see it retest and then fall. And then I had an alarm set if it was going to go lower. You can see that did not trigger. And I have this one sitting up here, basically above this swing high right here. That's where I have this one sitting. But I might think about entering this anyways long and just putting my stop right below this swing. It would be a very low risk trade. If this thing is going to continue higher, it would be, like I said, a very low risk trade. So I'll think about that over the next few minutes, especially if these candles that are forming right now, if we get a break above this swing high right here. Again, this is only a 15-minute chart, but if we get a break above here, and with a good close above here, I might consider it, but I'll let it play out for a little bit. So that's the copper is the one I'm kind of watching for another potential opportunity today. Again, on this cattle one, unless we get a real strong break back below these lows, which we might. And then, like I said, if that happens, I think this will continue on down. I think we'll get a continuation, all the way down towards this higher time frame level right here. Okay, so that's futures. On to Forex. So we'll start on the pound Canadian. So again, higher time frame picture, still in bearish order flow. This is the 4-hour chart. You can see I have marked out, this is the most recent swing high. We have been pushing very aggressively. Remember, I was in all this trade short yesterday. I did close it yesterday, and I'm glad I did. I took what I made yesterday, and even though, I'm looking at bearish order flow, I rather just take my profit. I can always re-enter later. This pair has a pretty high spread on my brokerage. You can see it's 5 pips, which is a really high spread. But I'm not scalping, so it's not the end of the world. 5 pips. If you're day trading or swing trading it, 5 pips isn't going to kill you. It's only an issue if you're scalping. This is probably not the type of pair you'd want to scalp because of the spreads. So anyways, so if we drill down a little bit here, lower time frames, let's go down to, here's the 15-minute. And you can see we're in bullish order flow right now, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Here's the most recent little structure area on the 15, right there. If we go down to the 5-minute, there it is on the 5. So essentially, as long as we stay below these levels here, then I'm still bearish overall. Now we are making bullish order flow here on the short time frames, and you certainly could trade this to the upside. I'm just going to wait and see. I'm not in any hurry to jump back into this. If this area holds and we start to get bearish order flow again, to me, that'll be a much better trade. So I'm just going to keep, adjusting this line as it makes new highs. I'll keep marking out the swing low, which currently is right here. And again, as long as we maintain this area right in here, I can probably encapsulate a little bit more of this zone with a rectangle. So basically, like, right here. So if we go down to the shorter time frame again, we're basically looking at, this area right in here. All right, I can tighten this up a little bit, basically just like that. So as long as price doesn't break through this rectangular flow area right here, then I think we will maintain bearish flow eventually. So I do have an alarm. You can't see it because this is MetaTrader 4. I can't set those kind of alarms here. But on my phone, I have an alarm set for if price breaks below here that I would consider entering into a short position. Sorry, guys, I had to step away. My dog is whining about something. I don't know what her problem is. So I apologize if you can hear her in the background. Okay, so moving on, dollar Swiss. So again, dollar Swiss, overall bullish price action on the higher time frames. We are pulling back right now. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one, but right now, perhaps, again, as long as we hold this area right here, I still maintain bullish flow on this one. So I'll watch and see if we get a pullback and then a continuation. Pound dollar should be kind of the opposite. So this one's interesting too. We are up at, let me zoom in a little bit. We are up here on the 4-hour chart back to this recent swing area. Now this could be a minor swing area where this is at right now. I don't know. You can see, like this pullback's much more aggressive. This one above here, whereas this one right here, where I have this yellow line, could be more of a minor pullback. So I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks through here. And then we would have to look at this area up here, or even this area as being kind of the turning point areas. But you can see we have pretty aggressive bullish price action right now where price is sitting. But this could be one of those things where, it tries to pop through here, It gets people into longs, thinking it's going to break out higher, so that you get that inducement, where they pops a wick out here and then closes back underneath this line, and then starts to go down and traps the breakout cells. So that's what I'm looking for. And even if this does break above here, I'm probably still not going to take any long position, because I still think the market flow is bearish despite that. Although, like I said, the question is, where's the key area? Is it here, or is it up here, or even higher? We'll have to just wait and see. So I'm just watching pound dollar, but the dollar is having some weakness right now. That's why the dollar Swiss is going down and the pound dollar is going up. So it's definitely being driven by some dollar weakness right now. We'll just have to see if that maintains. Swiss yen has done nothing since yesterday. This is the 1 hour chart. You can see it's basically been moving sideways here for the better part of 24 hours. So there's nothing really to do with this. It's not even really clear what it wants to do here. So at the moment, Swiss yen is I'm just looking at it, but I don't really have any intention to trade it right now, the way these patterns look. And then dollar yen, you can see dollar yen. This one's interesting because, like I said, the dollar is experiencing some weakness right now. But on the dollar Swiss, we overall have bullish price action on the higher time frames. We have bullish order flow, but yet the dollar yen is showing some weakness. We have bearish order flow here, which has not been negated. And so be interesting to see what this one does. You can see I've got this little area here drawn on the 15-minute chart where we're coming back into right now. And so if I zoom in a little bit, again, this is the 15-minute chart. Be interesting to see if this area holds. If we get a breakthrough here, then we probably would have a run down towards these lows down here. Got a lot of liquidity sitting right in here, back at these lows. So it's a little bit of a conflict between some of these dollar pairs, because like I said, dollar yen has bearish order flow, but dollar Swiss has bullish order flow, and the pound dollar has bearish overflow on the higher time frames, notwithstanding what it's doing right now. So a little bit of a conflict. So that's why I do like to look at these correlated pairs, because if it's conflicting, it's hard to say, because you don't know if this is a turn and we're going higher. Although if you go out even further, so here's the daily chart of the pound US dollar. Here you can make an argument that we're actually in bullish order flow on the higher time frame, right? We put in this low, then we made a higher low here, right? Pull back, higher low, pull back, higher low. So maybe the dollar is weakening, and this is just, a continuation now of the uptrend. So let's look at the dollar Swiss on the longer time frame. And this is not as clear, although we did put in a lower high here on the daily chart. We had price came up here, made this high, and this clearly bullish. Came down, pulled back, had a big pullback, tried to run up, made a new high. You can see it fell a little bit short. Fell a little bit short of this swing high, right? Actually, let's just put the cursor over here. It'll tell us. So if I look down the bottom of my screen here, this made a high of 91.96 on that one, and this one made a high of 92.07. So there's about 90. What did I say? This is about 13 pips higher on this high versus this one. So technically, you can say we put in a lower high, and so maybe this is the end of that. And then we came down. We retraced this. We retraced this one up to, what are we at there? The 70.5 fib retracement level right here. I don't know. So there's a little bit of conflict with the US dollar and what this is doing. I'm going to keep an eye on this, on these dollar pairs, but those are the ones that interest me right now. The pound Canadian, as long as it stays in this bullish order flow, I'm just going to keep watching it. And the Swiss yen, like I said, it's not really doing anything at the moment. So yeah, so that's it overall. So careful watch on the dollar pairs, and then again on futures, looking at copper, and to see what happens with cattle if this downtrend continues. So, all right, so I'm going to leave it there. It will be back later to see if anything comes up later in the session. I'm not sure it will. As we start to head towards noontime, things do start to quiet down, especially in the futures market. In Forex market once London closes. So we'll see if we get anything else. But I'll keep an eye on these futures at least. So, all right. So questions, comments, leave them down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back later. And thanks for watching. Talk to you all soon.